catches up to the 1978 world champion, Mario Andretti. And Giacomelli's slowing. Giacomelli's slowing down. Now, Villeneuve goes straight past the Alfa Romeo, and there's a flash from the back. It looked as though for a moment as though the Alfa Romeo was on fire because there was a flash of something. James?
Yeah, something. It looks like an engine blow-up, I think. Fairly straightforward. Jones sweeps by into the lead. What bad luck on Giacomelli. He'd done everything right. He was doing a very competent, straightforward job and controlling the race, and that, unfortunately, is the way it goes in motor racing.
Well, this time, nobody can blame Giacomelli, but there is the new race leader, the reigning world champion, who clinched it last weekend in Canada, Alan Jones. But the second of the two Williams cars, Reutemann, is in the same position in this race in America as he was last weekend as they complete another lap in Canada. And if they go on the way they're going now, for the rest of this 59-lap race with Pironi there behind them in third position, it means that Frank Williams is going to have surely the best season ever for a Formula One team, because he is going to have had the World Championship for the driver, the World Championship for the constructors, and in the last two Grand Prix, first and second, and not a single breakdown for both two team cars in the last 8 Grand Prix. A quite incredible performance. Jones past Charrier, who, don't forget, has been into the pits. This is lap 39, so there's another 20 laps to go, and that is John Watson. Well, it's been a very checkered Grand Prix season for John Watson. He was in 5th position at the time he went into the pits there, and he wasn't getting out of the car, so maybe he's going on.
Yeah, it looks as if they were signalling the end of his day, but shame that John Watson hasn't been able to get a result. He's had such a nice revival at the end of this most terrible season for him. Yes, he's unstrapped himself, getting back in the car, but I don't think that'll be for any serious motor racing now. By the time they've strapped him back in again, he'll be well gone.
So lap 50, that's Villeneuve, lap 51. Villeneuve's hit something, and look at that great puff of dust and smoke, and the marshal running across to the Armco. Villeneuve's all right. That's the Ferrari, and look at the left rear tyre. That's it. It looks as though a tyre's gone again, and Villeneuve is obviously quite all right. He's had some really hairy crashes this season, and I'm sure he'll be glad to see the last of it. But his teammate, Jody Scheckter, the 1979 world champion, in his very last Grand Prix before he retires, qualified well enough to get round about the 18th or 19th position on the grid in his Ferrari. He's going to complete the American Grand Prix if he goes on the way he is now, and so for that matter is that man, number 27, Alan Jones, on lap 57. So there's only this lap and 2 more to go between this and his 6th Grand Prix win of 1980. And Alan Jones coming up now, the reigning world champion, coming up to lap the previous world champion. And as you see, Jacques Lafitte has moved up to 5th, and René Arnoux in the sole turbocharged Renault is in 6th position. And the 1980 champion rushes past the 1979 champion and starts his last lap but 1. So Jones now goes into that lap, round the 90, away up to the chicane for the 58th time. Behind him, Reutemann. Behind Reutemann is Didier Pironi. Behind Didier Pironi in 4th position, Elio De Angelis. And Jones has lapped everybody up to De Angelis, who is in 4th place, with Lafitte in 5th and 6th place. Alan Jones ending the season in triumph, but it's going to be, I'm sorry to say, a rather messy ending to the World Championship Series of 1980, because there is a political battle raging between FOCA, the Formula One Constructors Association, and FISA.
Killed in the middle of the season in a testing accident, and for his family, Clay Regazzoni with that tragic accident that's left him so terribly injured, with the back injuries that he received at Long Beach, and of course Jean-Pierre Jabouille, who had a very nasty accident himself last weekend. But I gather that his his legs, although broken, are not too serious, and that he's on the mend and will be back driving again for the start of next season. But that's the sort of accident level we can't afford to have. And while the powers that be argue and fight, let's hope that as well as improving the formula and improving the racing for entertainment, they'll also improve the safety for the drivers and the participants in general.
7 wins for Frank Williams' team, 6 of them here for Alan Jones, 1 for Reutemann. Up to the checkered flag and past it goes Alan Jones. What a wonderful way to finish his 1980 World Championship year on the highest note possible. A win, yet another one, for this gritty Australian who is following in the wheel tracks of Sir Jack Brabham, the 3 times Australian World Champion of the past. And Alan Jones, of course, goes into the winter on a very high note. So Jones wins, Reutemann second, third Pironi, Elio De Angelis in the Essex Lotus fourth, then the Ligier of Jacques Lafitte, and in a fine 6th place, Mario Andretti has finally finished a race and got a point. And the World Championship positions, Alan Jones pulls away, Piquet still second, Reutemann holds his 3rd position, Lafitte moves up to 4th, Didier Pironi, his teammate, in 5th place before he goes to Ferrari, and another Frenchman in 6th position, René Arnoux. So that ends the 1980 World Championship season. Now the designers work, the drivers rest a little, and we, all of us, look forward to 1981.